The Indy cars at the Homestead Road Course. When's the last time you saw a race at the Homestead Road Course? You're about to. Nick Pressy's on the front row with Noah Belleville. Aaron Edwards in the number 1-5 on the outside of row 2. And the points leader and the two-time winner so far in WinterIndy, Bryce Saucier, sitting in third. 10 cars have humbly joined the Homestead Challenge, ready for 30 circuits at the 2.3-mile road course. Nick Pressy will have control of the field coming off of turn number 4, and the ABN champion will probably have a couple of things to say, trying to get back at his teammate Bryce Saucier. Let's see what he's got. Green flag will come out. And we are racing at Homestead. So far, so good. Clean and green through the first couple corners. Nick Pressy still with advantage of the field. Brent Roberts now battling with the 1-5 of Aaron Edwards, and our points leader, Bryce Saucier, has lost a piece of his wing already. Briley right behind him. Tommy Withers bringing up the rear. Nick Pressy still leads. Saucier in trouble, or is he? We'll find out soon enough. Noah Belleville slots into second, right where he started, and Carmen Sienna in the bronze medal slot for now with Toby Estes behind her. Let's take a look. Kentucky pilot Briley Wright in the number 3, running in the 10th position right now. All dry so far. Drivers will be expected to make a tire compound change. Noah Belleville has snuck away to the lead on lap number 2. Check this out. Gets one the hard way on the inside of Nick Pressy, and you better believe that he had that planned for a long time. Let's take a look at what happened to Briley, though. This is on the opening lap of competition, into the hairpin. Oh, he just gets squirrely behind Bryce Saucier, comes back onto the racetrack, and not the start he wanted, at least, but, you know, he can turn it around here. We'll check this out in a sec. Briley running in 10th, Noah Belleville in first with Nick Pressy behind him. Check out what this draft is going to look like, though. Nick Pressy's going to get a great run on Noah Belleville. And Pressy's there already. Is he going to be able to pull off the same move? He's just not close enough. Now, for the most part, most drivers are running on the alternate, or the red compound. Noah Belleville on the softer red tires. He must change to the black tire. The only drivers that are on the black or the harder compound, Nick Pressy, Brent Roberts in the 84, Briley Wright in the 3. They must switch to the softer tire. So, quick strategy will tell you they want to go further on this stint, where drivers like drivers like Carmen Sienna, Toby Estes, Colin McDonough, all on the red softer tire. They're going to pit earlier. Toby Estes, though, see what he can come up with. Carmen Sienna put in the quickest lap last time around, 1:25.28. We'll see what the Kentucky pilot can do this time around. (1:05.29). Toby Estes almost loses the race car. He's off the track, and he keeps it back on, now flying mud, dust, and everything else he can muster out of the back of his number 8 machine. Great save by Toby, though. He pulled it together, kept it on the racetrack, and the Greensburg native keeps on moving. Can we have another look? That was cool. Watch this. Does a good job holding on to her. Currently running in 4th, Carmen in 3rd. And then looking at the push to pass, the boost that they have as well. You start this race with 200 seconds of push to pass. Carmen Sienna already down to 135. Nick Pressey 191 on the push to pass. If you just tuned in, you haven't missed a thing. We're 4 laps into the show. Carmen Sienna now trying to overtake Nick Pressey for the second position. Carmen goes off the track. And she gives it a huge spin. Coming out of the hairpin, not what she wanted. She's going to back it up and put it back onto the racetrack. Have a look. This is Sienna. Just goes off the track. And a lot of crap on her tires. Cold tires at that. Bren Roberts went off the racetrack. What happened to the 84 car? He's not missing the rear wing, but he might as well be. What happened to Bren? Oh, this is well before this. Did Bren go off right after that? There's Bren in the 84. Who's behind him? It's Aaron Edwards in the 84. Gets a huge piece of Bren Roberts. Have a look at Aaron. Let's go on board. Oh, this is well before this. Let's see if we can get a better look. Absolutely not what Aaron was trying to achieve, and he's in trouble, and now Bren's in trouble, and now all of a sudden Bryce Saucier's damage doesn't seem that bad. The number 7 car running in the 7th position, still missing just a corner of that front wing. Aaron Edwards, on the other hand, did he pick up more damage? He's not missing any pieces of his front wing, but he did just come down on lap number 3, and Bryce Saucier trying to take advantage. Nick Pressey's finally tapped into his push to pass. He's trying to chase down Noah Belleville for the race lead. The Missouri pilot is half a second ahead of Pressey. He's going to get onto the push to pass and now moving down. Can we bring up the graphic with the push to pass? What happens if we switch up the timing here? There we go. Where's her push to pass? Bingo, here it is. All right. How's that for a change of pace? So Noah Belleville 0.6 of a second ahead of Nick Pressey. Bryce Saucier in the number 7 car, trying to chase down Briley Wright. There you can see everybody's push to pass right there, and the current gaps that they're running to each other. Now we just got to figure out which one of these scoring pylons I like best. I think I like the look of the NASCAR style pylon, but this one's way more informative. Although maybe a bit too big. .4 is the gap between Noah Belleville and Nick Pressey. The Brooklyn pilot chasing down the 41 of Belleville. Let's see if we can go on board with Nick for a lap. Tommy Withers has had an incident. We'll go and see what's happened to the Virginia pilot. Meanwhile, what a move for the lead. Nick Pressey looks like he got muscled off the racing line. Advantage car 41. Pressey now chases in the 94 again. Let's see what happened to Withers. The number 6 Valvoline machine, third last week. Going into the hairpin, does he get on the gas too early? Maybe just gives it a little too much power. Belleville still leads. Watch this into turn 1. Check this out. Oh, was it net code? I don't think there was any contact at all. Run that back. Oh, you can't really tell from that angle, but it certainly doesn't look like any contact was made. Back to the live action. Nick Pressy's going to get another crack at this. Maybe not this lap, but the lap next. A third of the way into this race. Noah Belleville ahead of Nick Pressy by half a second. That's what that looks like. And then Toby Estes, 5.8 seconds adrift. Meanwhile, Aaron Edwards is trying to catch up to him, and over the last 5 laps, Aaron has not been cutting into Estes' lead, but this last time by, Aaron was able to get a piece of that. Both drivers are on the alternate tires. Aaron's now on his push to pass, as you see indicated by the red light on the left side of your screen, and he is mounting his attack. Meanwhile, at the front, Nick Pressy will overtake he will overtake Noah Belleville. Belleville on the alternate tire. 10 laps into this race, he's going to decide to come in, and new leader, Brooklyn's Nick Pressy at the front of this race on the primary compound, by the way. And we'll put up a pit lane time here. Colin McDonough's had an incident. What's going on with Colin? And Toby Estes has had an incident. What's happened with Toby now? Let's see what happened with Colin and Toby. Isolated incidents, I think. Oh, he just gives it a twitch, and he gets a huge bit of damage on that side of the race car. And then what happened to Toby on the same lap? Touches the grass, and just goes a bit wide. And Toby, thankfully, will not hit anything that we know of. Bren Roberts went off the track. Tommy Withers went off the racetrack. Bren's running in 9th, and now missing a piece of his race car. Tommy Withers is in 7th, and dust is flying everywhere. What happened to Bren? Gets tires on the grass, and right into the wall. What happened to Tommy Withers? I just went wide in turn number 1. Really struggling to put that car together there. Nick Pressy ahead by what is now 25 seconds. Briley Wright has not yet pit. So Nick in the front, Briley in second are the only 2 drivers that haven't pit. Noah Belleville came down on lap number 10. There is the Missouri pilot. Toby Estes is leaving pit road right now. Aaron Edwards will overtake him into turn number 1, and the Virginia native moves into 4th. Remember, Aaron also pitted on lap 10. He changed tire compounds. So now the top 7 drivers on primary tires, but of course, Nick and Briley have to pit, and they have to switch to the alternates. Noah Belleville came down on lap number 10. Does that mean Nick and Briley are going to come down on lap 20? No idea. We'll figure it out soon enough. New Jersey's Colin McDonough running in the 7th position. And Brooklyn's Nick Pressy ahead by 28 seconds. Meanwhile, Briley Wright watching Noah Belleville close in over the last 5 laps. Noah Belleville shaves off 0.2 of a second that last time around. Remember, Noah came in only 2 laps ago. We don't even have 5 laps of data yet. Cody Riggs in the chat. Cheering on for the Bluegrass Bandits. Talking about Briley Wright in second, Toby Estes in sixth. Briley has not pit. Toby came down on lap number 9. Let's go on board with the Kentucky driver. Move for second place, breaking away from Toby just slightly. That's Noah Belleville to the inside of our other Bluegrass Bandit, Briley Wright. Belleville on fresh tires. He's in second, now chasing down Nick Pressey. Well, Briley's not giving it up just yet. Not even on the push to pass, just using the draft, trying to slingshot out of turn number 3. He's got the right idea. Toby Estes down the front straight. He is 0.8 of a second behind Bryce Saucier. There's car number 7. Let's ride on board with Bryce. And never mind. Bryce decides he's going to go off the racetrack and invite Toby right to his doorstep. There's Estes trying to make the move for 5th. Toby sends it in really hot on Bryce Saucier. Bryce on the outside. Toby's got to put the binders on, make sure he doesn't make any contact with cart number 7, and they roll on. Back on board with Toby. They keep it moving. Toby Estes trying to get around Bryce Saucier any way that he can, and the Greensburg pilot stays pinned behind the 5th place machine, but Bryce is playing really good defense too. Saw Toby, gave it a wiggle coming out of the corner, and that's all Bryce needed to get some fresh air behind him. Car number 7 is going to hold on to that 5th place position for now. We are halfway through this race. Nick Pressey still leading Noah Belleville by 29 seconds. But over the last 5 laps, Noah Belleville has been chipping away into Pressey's lead. Keep in mind, Pressey has to make a switch to the faster tire. We should expect him to come in probably in the next 4 laps. Cody Riggs enjoying the racing between Toby Estes and Bryce Saucier. They're only a half second apart. Toby's going to get another shot at it. Let's go on board with Bryce. Look at the push to pass. Toby has used almost all of his. He's down to 76 seconds of push to pass. Bryce still has 155. This is one of those battles where you think, Toby, you might have to let this one go for now. 13 laps to go, and Toby can get himself into 5th, but he's not going to have any defense against Bryce Saucier. When Bryce tries to draft, Toby slides the tail out of the first couple of corners, and he's now on attack again. Although Toby remains glued to the back end of Bryce Saucier's race car. And Toby Estes finally gets his way around Bryce Saucier here on lap 17. Have one more look. This is the 5th place pass. He just keeps his foot planted out of the corner, gets the speed down that back straight, and that's going to put Toby into the 5th position for now. But of course, he's used almost all of his push to pass, and Bryce is still there. So now he's got to run for it. Half a second is all that remains between them. Nick Pressey leads by 29 seconds over Noah Belleville, and maybe Belleville doesn't need to force the issue as well, because Belleville knows exactly how much time it's going to take to get those tires down pit lane. So there's the pit lane time. Wither still being shown in pit lane. How about Jacob Renneker in the chat? He says Aaron's closing into 3rd. He is indeed. Briley Wright still has to pit from the third position, by the way. There's the pit lap for those that know. There you see Nick Pressey, Briley Wright have not come down into the pits. Briley Wright did just put in that green lap, though, 107.05. His personal best. And there's the tire compounds there. So Nick Pressey, Noah Belleville goes really wide. That's not going to help him. Nick Pressey, Briley Wright, they're going to have to switch to the faster red compound. Bryce Saucier now on the attack. This is for 5th again. We've seen Toby attack, but can he defend? 5th place on the line. Nick Pressey's gone off the track. He's good. Back to Toby and Bryce. And Bryce is going to do the exact same thing on the outside. Have another look. What a move. Keeps his foot planted. Toby gives it a wiggle coming out of the corner. And that is almost a mirror of what we saw here. Toby doing the same thing. Just keeps his foot planted out of the corner. And he gets the move on Bryce Saucier. Toby in 6th, Bryce in 5th. Nick Pressey, Briley Wright still have not come into the pits. Pressey still with a 30-second advantage, which is strange because you expect Noah Belleville to catch up. However, we also know that Nick Pressey still has to pit. He's put 20 laps on these primary tires. If Belleville came in on lap number 10, and he started on the red tire, maybe that tells you that Nick Pressey is going to come in on lap number 20 with a black tire. If his strategy is right, if his strategy is timed well, they should come out right next to each other. Noah Belleville was leading when Nick Pressey came in. So now Nick Pressey has to drive as hard as he can on the red tire to make up for that time, because 30 seconds is the gap. Now, Briley Wright is in. Aaron Edwards moves in to 3rd. Wright is in. Will Pressey come in? Remember, Wright now has to switch to the primary tire. And Briley Wright's pit lane time is going to tell us just exactly where we should be on the gap. Nick Pressey's in. Nick Pressey's... No, he's not. I'm dead wrong. Nick Pressey's going to stay out. He's running a really low line. I thought he was going to come in. Briley Wright's down. He's away. Oh, he spins coming out of the pits. Not what he wanted. Is it going to be a 3-point turn? No, he gets it out of there. That sucks for Briley. Sitting in 7th and now hoping for the caution to save him. Bryce Saucier has extended his gap to Toby Estes by 0.8 of a second. And did Briley go around again? He does spin in turn number 1. Noah Belleville still waiting on Nick Pressey to pit. Briley on cold tires. Gives it the beans. Goes for a spill. And there's Noah Belleville behind him. 30.5 seconds behind Nick Pressey, who still hasn't come in. And he still won't. It's going to take approximately between 30 and 33 seconds for Nick to come out of pit road. It depends on how well he attacks the pits. But of course, he also has to come in using the access road. So, by my quick math, Noah Belleville will be the leader when Nick Pressey pits. So, Noah Belleville's going to have a substantial lead. But Belleville's going to be on tires that are over 20 laps old. Nick Pressey is going to be on tires that are approximately, well, it depends. If he pits now, they're going to be 7 laps old. But he's running out of time because Nick Pressey is not going to beat this 30.8 second delta that he has to Noah Belleville right now. Bring up the gap. There it is. 30.5 seconds from Nick Pressey to Noah Belleville. Pressey has to use the access road. It's the slower route on the inside. It's also going to take him more than 30 seconds to get through pit lane and get these fresh alternate tires. He's made the move. Pressey's in. 30.5 seconds is the gap. Toby Estes is now caught back up to Bryce Saucier. And now Toby's making his move. Pressey's down. Noah Belleville on the back straight. He now needs to put his foot down, and if Noah's going to use his and he is. Noah's on the push to pass. He knows he's got to get that speed up and overtake Nick as well as he can. Aaron Edwards with 110 seconds of push to pass remaining. 8th, 9th, and 10th, Withers, Roberts, Sienna. Unofficially out of this race was that Pressey. That's Pressey. Nick Pressey comes out of the pits, spins the car, and throws the win away. There are the points coming into round 3 of 6. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey now has Aaron Edwards trying to overtake him for the 2nd position. And will and clears. Cold tires strike again. Pressey now has to get on the attack. Aaron Edwards is tied with 4th. Now, Nick Pressey got the pole, so Pressey has the 1-point advantage over Aaron Edwards before the green flag even flew, but as it stands, they're going to be tied again. Not only is the spin going to kill any forward momentum that Nick Pressey made, it may have just handed the win to Noah Belleville. Lap 24, coming out of the pits. What happens to Nick Pressey? Oh, he puts his foot. He didn't even get 50 feet. Let's go on board with Nick. Watch again. Aaron Edwards now in 2nd. Nick Pressey 9/10 behind. Both drivers on the push to pass. Toby Estes coming to 5 laps to go. Will not let go of Bryce. Toby with 18 seconds of push remaining. Bryce Saucier with 60 seconds of push remaining. Shout out to Infraction Music, by the way. They bring us the music for every single race that we do. They don't charge a dime. Check them out on Spotify. And shout out Drip Diecast and Collectibles as well. Your #1 online store for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia and more if you need a diecast this holiday season. Drip Diecast and Collectibles. Check them out on eBay. #1 diecast store anywhere. Saucier's on the push to pass. But it's not keeping Toby Estes away. If Toby Estes stays in the draft, the push to pass means absolutely nothing. Bryce is on the button. Toby's trying to slingshot around him. Nick Pressey, by the way, moves into 2nd. There's Bryce Saucier wiggling around. Saucier's going to go off the track, and all that push to pass amounts to losing 4th place. Aaron Edwards is in 3rd. Bryce Saucier is in 5th. After Toby just moved up to 4th, and Brooklyn's Nick Pressey, 105.08, fastest lap of the race so far. And Aaron Edwards will overcook the hairpin. For reference, Nick Pressy's fastest lap is 0.8 of a second faster than Aaron Edwards' fastest lap. Nick is not screwing around. Bryce Saucier, by the way, after using all of that push to pass in turns 3 and 4, now has to chase down Toby Estes, and they're both going to be almost out of push to pass. Toby using the push to pass through the corner, but again, it just seems like the draft was so strong that last time around, it made no difference. Nine-tenths of a second, the gap between them. Nick Pressey, Aaron Edwards, 1.9 seconds apart, and Noah Belleville with no competition behind him. It was meant to be Nick Pressey on his ultra-fast alternate tires, chasing down Noah Belleville. That's what 12 seconds looks like, by the way. Belleville in the lead. And Nick Pressey in the second position. If it can happen to Nick, it can happen to Noah. 2 to go this time by at Homestead. Our 69-mile journey is almost complete, and we'll be halfway through the 3rd season of Winter Indy. Toby Estes in 4th, Bryce Saucier in 5th, 6/10 the gap. TNT is coming to a close this Thursday night, the semifinal from Chicagoland. 8:40 Eastern, right here, Rick James TV, as always. Next week, though, the Winter Indy Circus keeps on rolling. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's not the road course, it's the oval. That's going to be next Tuesday, and then we end TNT, funny enough, right here. But all that fun space out there in NASCAR 1 and 2 that we're not using, we're going to use it. The TNT final at the Homestead Miami Oval. That's going to be right here, not this Thursday Chicagoland, but next Thursday. Right here at Homestead. It's going to be a great way to end the season. I do love this track, and I was talking to a lot of these guys in practice, and they said that they love this track also. They really, really enjoy it. One guy who's enjoying the show from his point of view, Noah Belleville. 1 to go next time by. For what it's worth, Toby Estes, who has used up most of his push to pass before Bryce Saucier, has done an extremely good job holding on to the 4th position. And the points are going to take a huge turn here. Remember, it's 1 point per position, so a maximum of 10 points for a win. Everybody 9th on down scores 1 point. I'm sorry, everybody 10th on down scores 1 point. 9th gets 2 points, 1 point for a pole. So Nick Pressey will get an extra point for winning the pole. He's going to jump up in the points a couple of spots. Carmen Sienna is going to finish 10th. So Nick Pressey is going to be, I think, 3rd when we're all done here. Noah Belleville is going to come away with the points lead. Bryce Saucier is in 5th. So as it stands, Noah's going to gain 5 points on Bryce. That should put Noah, by my very poor math, what, level with Bryce? Is that right? No, he's 4 points behind, so it should put him 1 point ahead. Looks like a 16 from my tiny screen. Last lap for Noah Belleville. He's coming off turn number 4. He wins round 3 at Winter Indy, while 4th place is still up for grabs. 0.6 of a second the gap, and it's one more push for Bryce Saucier to overtake Toby Estes. Coming through NASCAR 3 and 4, Bryce has the move. Will he get the run out of the final corner? Toby Estes trying to secure 4th, and he will do so. Great racing between Toby and Bryce. That was awesome stuff for the last few laps. Noah Belleville had the win all but secured for the last 9 laps of that race, and he is going to head into Indianapolis a very happy man, the Missouri native, looking to get another Winter Indy Championship under his belt. At least I think he was the champion last year. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Don't expect me to remember who was previously champion. Yeah, it was Noah Belleville. Noah Belleville first, Carmen Sienna second, Nick Pressey third. 9 points was the gap at the end of that one. Noah Belleville will celebrate in deserved fashion. We're going to talk to Noah, Nick, Aaron Edwards in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. There we go. Noah's going to burn the house down in fun fashion. All right, we're going to let him celebrate. We're going to talk to our podium in just a moment. On the podium with our top 3, starting with our third place finisher, Aaron Edwards in the 1-5. Hey, Aaron, good run, man. Third place. I think you got a little more used to the car as the session went on, man. How'd you enjoy your run tonight?
Apologize to Brian. That's what happens when you just load into something half an hour late with no practice, and you've never done this before, and I've never run this car before, so I just flat run over. That's on me. So yeah, sorry about that. I know that kind of ruined his race, but as it went on, we got more comfortable, and I felt like we just ran a very average, very neutral strategy. When the pit window opened and when the tire, that red, overheated, we pit, and I don't know, somehow that just put us in a really good spot. So just tried to keep good pace, be consistent, and yeah, had a lot of fun.
Fantastic. All right, so next week, headed into Indianapolis, man, let's take a look at these points real quick. You find yourself 4th in the points, 1 point behind Nick Pressey in 3rd, and only 8 points behind Bryce Saucier, who is tied for the points lead with Noah Belleville right now.
Yeah, still really tight with this points format, so we're still in it. It's not over. Just gotta say, shout out
We'll see you in a week's time, man. Congratulations on third. Nick Pressey, you've managed to salvage second position in this one, and you're only 7 points off the lead headed into next week's race at Indianapolis, Nicky. We're looking for that first win next week. Can you pull it together?
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm absolutely gutted that it didn't work out tonight. Did everything right. Into the pit stops, it just...
Little technical issues here. Let's try this one more time. Sorry about that. Sorry, Nick. Go ahead. I lost you there for a brief second. Maybe, the joys of electronics and all that. Next week at Indianapolis, man. Looking for that win. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just absolutely gutted that tonight wasn't it. Did everything right leading into the pit stops, and as soon as I came out, turned off the limiter and just went around, and that's on me, But it doesn't make it suck any less. Indy was good to me over in ABN, so maybe lightning will strike twice there.
We'll see you in a week's time at Indianapolis. Let's go to our race winner. One, Noah Belleville, trying to go 2 straight WinterIndy Championships, Moldy. You're tied for the points lead headed into Indy next week, man. It was supposed to be a really close battle between you and Nick Pressey, but do you feel like Nick kind of gifted you this win with a mistake?
Yeah, he definitely helped, I'd say. Who knows how that would have ended. It would have been a good battle. But, yeah, the Reds were pretty quick firing off, but they got really hot really fast. So, you saw on the first run, Pressey was all over me after about 4 laps. So, I'm sure he would have got back to me. But I would have had something to hold him off with. I'm not too sure, but after he spun out, it kind of just went to manage mode, make sure I didn't do the same thing. But definitely what could have been. It would have been fun, that's for sure. But I will take the win and take the time for the points.
Absolutely. Going next week into Indianapolis, man. 2 wins in a row, coming away with an even stronger lead.
Hopefully. Ovals haven't been going as smoothly as I'd hoped so far. But Indy is Indy. It's tough. So we'll see.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. We'll see you in a week. No, hell. We'll see you. Are we gonna see you in 2 days at Chicagoland?
2 days. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Actually, we're gonna see most of these drivers, really, if not all of them, in Chicagoland in 2 days. All right, Moldy. We'll let you celebrate. Congrats. One thing or another. Technical issues with Discord here or there, doesn't matter. We're going to get it resolved. Don't worry about it. Noah Belleville ends up coming away with the win. That's going to go ahead and take care of all the festivities tonight at Homestead. And there it is, 2 days from now, the TNT semifinal at Chicagoland. Jacob Bradley has a very tight and dwindling points lead headed into that semifinal race. Let me fire up these points real quick because I've almost forgotten how close it can be here. We're in what, season 11? My God, I can't believe it's been 11 seasons. Yeah, 3 markers. Jacob Bradley leads by 3 points over Aaron Edwards headed into Chicagoland. Bradley coming off of what was one of the winningest seasons in Thursday Night Thunder in Season 10, dominating that championship, trying to be the first repeat champion in TNT history since Season 7. Now looking at Season 11. And Jacob Bradley with a 3-point lead over our 3rd-place finisher heading into this Thursday's race at Chicagoland. Don't miss that. More drafting at Indianapolis next Tuesday, and then we wrap up TNT at this same racetrack a week and a half from now. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. This holiday season's going to be great. Thanks so much for tuning in and screwing around with us. It was a great time. Until that next race, take care of each other. Stay safe. We'll see you all around the corner.